Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, was this life of Ward's led for fun or profit? That is the key to this case. Was he conducting a business? There's a very, very wide gap between a man with an artistic temperament and obviously high sexual proclivities, leading a dissolute life, and saying he has committed these offences. Can you really imagine this man has been living on the earnings of prostitution? On a fair and impartial view, I will ask you to say that these charges have not been made out and to find him not guilty.
Here's a monster of depravity who went hunting fresh and tender game, picked up 2 young semi-prostitutes, promised them a first-hand taste of fame. If so minded, one might well infer profit was his motive and his goal when he first set foot in Murray's club, seeking victims that he could control. So-called Dr. Ward went to endless lengths, making sure Keeler was succumbing to his influence, even went as far as visiting her little people in Staines to reassure them. If so minded, one could well conclude this is evil in its purest shape, preying on the weak and vulnerable. Once the trap closed, there was no escape. You have heard what the accused made Vicky Barrett do, offering her to all his friends. Hard to believe, but true. Holding back the money that she thought he would repay. Clearly money from immoral earnings, you may say.
No! This is not the first time you have interrupted, and I shall take action if you do it again!
I'm sorry, my lord. It's a great strain.
Of course, it's a great strain for a guilty man to hear the truth at last. If so minded, one might well assume this defendant should not be set free to resume his filthy way of life, of seduction and debauchery.
Members of the jury, you have here in front of you a man of many parts, a successful osteopath and patron of the arts, a highly distinguished healer, a true artist, not a fake. These are very hard decisions you are called to make. Yet he led a life of infamy, and now he's alone, as you can see, quite abandoned and left to his fate by his many friends of high estate.
You've never had it so good.
The judge was only halfway through his summing up, but I could see it was all out with me. I realized that this case was not brought because of some undue interest in my sex life. It was a political revenge trial, and I'd had quite enough. There's no other way to heaven. Seems you have to die. I thought heaven could be found this side of the sky.